So I've been doing photography for a number of years now, and only recently did I start this YouTube channel where I film myself going around on some of my photographic outings. So I have a lot of photographs that I've taken over the past years that consequently I have no video footage of myself taking, but there's some interesting stories behind some of them, and I thought I'd share them with you and see if you find them interesting. See how it goes over. If you enjoy it, let me know in the comments area and I will continue on to do it. So for the first image, I have this interior of this truck stop. Now, uh, the story behind this is some photography friends of mine and I were driving around looking for some interesting photographs to take, and we happened upon this abandoned truck stop. So we drove around it and sort of just saw if there was a place to get into it, and in the back there was already a door open. I don't like to break and entering into any place like this, but the door was already open, so we ventured on in there and decided to scope it out a little bit. And of course the place was interesting and we started to take photographs around and everything. At this time I was shooting a lot of medium format Hasselblad 500 cm. This particular shot I took with a 50mm lens and T-Max 100. I think at the time I probably developed it with Barry Thornton's 2-bath developer, because that's what I was using a lot at that time. So we're in there photographing around, and my friends are taking various photographs and I'm taking various photographs, and I set up to take this shot that we're looking at now. And then outside of the window, off in the distance, I see some police cars driving in. And they're not on the road, they're obviously in the old parking lot, and so they're very close to the window. And I know that they're obviously coming there because they're aware someone's in the building, so they're going to question what we're doing in there. Now, this isn't the first time that police officers have seen me around or in a building, and so usually it's not a big deal, so I figure this isn't going to be that big of a deal, and I'm right in the middle of my exposure. It's probably like a 20-30 second exposure, I don't know, but anyway. So I tell my photography friends, I say, hey, the police are here, go out and see what they want, I'll be out in a minute. So they go out there, and eventually I come out, and well, I'm coming out and I'm right near the exit door that we came in at the back of the building, and I see one of the police officers pointing their weapon at a friend of mine, and then they hear some rustling. That's me coming out, and the police officer turns, points the weapon at me, and I just immediately freeze. I've never had a weapon pointed at me. That's the first time and only time that's ever happened. It freaked me out. So I freeze, I hold my hands up, and this is exactly what I say. I said, I'm not going to move, tell me exactly what you want me to do. So the police officer says, come out slowly with your hands up. So I come out slowly. I left my camera gear in there, my tripod on my camera, and I just have my camera bag. So I hold my hands up, I come out. They, at this time, another police officer had shown up. So they put us near the car and they pat us down and everything, which is kind of interesting because we had light meters and film and various photographic things in our pockets, and they didn't ask us to take those out or anything like that. And so they ask us what we're doing in the building. We simply just tell them that we're taking photographs. We're very upfront with them. They check our IDs and everything, and then one of the police officers detains us by the car while the other one goes in and looks inside the building. And of course they see our tripods and so forth sitting around, and so they come back out and they don't really have any problem with us. I mean, they're stern and everything, and they're not going to let us go back into the building except to get our equipment and then leave. But they didn't really have much of a problem with it. Turns out what the story they told us was that it may have been the day before or the week before, there was a car in the back that had been stolen and was on fire. And so what we believe happened was some of the neighbors, because the way we were parked in the back of the building, there were some homes behind it and they could still see our vehicle there, so they probably called the police and the police then showed up. Long story short, it was a little bit of a harrowing situation with having a weapon pointed at us, but we were just up front with them and they knew we were not up to no good, and so at that point they just basically asked us to leave. I thought that was an interesting story to share, and if you feel so too, please let me know in the comments area, and I will make more videos like this about some of the other photographs I've taken in the past.